Hello students, in this video I want to give you a quick introduction to Microsoft Access. Specifically, we're going to open an Access database, explore the ribbon interface, discuss Access objects, find the help menu, explore the navigation pane. We're going to open and explore a table, use the record selector, and discuss different table views. Now, you can either continue to look at the PowerPoint slides. I'm going to be going through about the first 18 slides on the introduction to Microsoft Access PowerPoints, but I'm actually going to go ahead into Access and follow through with the different steps that I am illustrating in those slides. In order to follow along with me, you'll want to download the data files from Blackboard under the Intro to Access folder. Save them on the computer where you can easily find them. We're going to be working with the Orders database. All right, so I'm going to move into Access. Now, when you open up Access, it'll automatically pull up some recent files. To illustrate, though, I'm going to go ahead down to Open Other Files, which is where you'll probably need to go the first time you are searching for the Orders database. And you can go in here and browse through your folders to wherever you downloaded your data files. Mine is open here in the desktop, so I'm going to go ahead and open that file. And for illustration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and open this table. This TBL stands for Table Order. I'm going to double click on it. Okay, and now I just want to show you a few features. So we're going to call this piece the ribbon interface. And let me pull up a screenshot so I can draw on this a little bit. So this top piece up here we're going to call the ribbon interface. We'll call this the title bar up here at the top where we can see which file we're working with. And this piece over here is called the navigation pane. Now you can see in the ribbon that we have different groups, so we might call this a ribbon group, for example. Notice that we have a help menu here if you ever need to search to figure out how to do something in Access. If you're stuck, this might be a place that you can get started right here with a light bulb. Tell me what you want to do. Notice that we have several tabs along the top up here. And we're going to spend a little time in the Create tab. So let me click on that. And let's take a look at the different options that we have. And again, I'm going to pull up a screenshot so I can draw a little bit here. And so on the left, we have several tabs that pertain to tables. So we have these table features. We have some query features. We have some form options, and we'll be talking about all these in more detail throughout the course. And then we have some report options, and actually my forms, I'm going to pull this all the way over. And then we have some report options, and then we have some macro and module options. And we'll learn a lot more about those as we move throughout the course. Time now exploring the table order. So if you haven't already, remember you can double click over here to open the table order. And once I have that table open, I could actually close it over here with this X. And I'm just going to open it again. You can actually open multiple tables at once. And you'll see that they create a set of tabs. And you can close the individual tables by clicking on this X. So I only want the table order open currently, so I will leave it as is. And notice at the bottom that we can scroll through the different records. This table has 22 records. So these are the order ID. And you'll notice that there are some numbers that are skipped here. So there's actually only 22 rows. And we can see that down here for the number of records. So I can obviously click through the different rows, and I can also scroll through the rows using this arrow button at the bottom. I can search for a particular record in this search box. So I'm going to search for 0007, and you see that it selects this particular record where the retailer is 0007. If I need to add a new record at the bottom, you'll notice that it gives me an option to add a new record, and it can be located with this asterisk. Also, we'll notice that if I edit a record, I'm going to type in here 0006. I'm going to put it back to where it was, but you'll notice that there's a little pencil icon here that indicates that I am now editing this record. Now I want you to notice that if I were going to enter a new record, that it already populates a date for me. And this is the primary key, which is going to auto-populate. So if I enter a retailer in here, 0019, for example, it automatically creates a new primary key for that particular record. And the last thing I want to show you is how to toggle between the design view and the datasheet view. If you'll recall earlier, we had moved over to the Create tab. We'll want to go back to the Home tab to get to our different options for the views. So once I'm back on the Home tab, you'll see this option for View. Right now, I'm in the Datasheet view, so I can see my actual data. And if I toggle over to the Design view, what I'll find is the different field names, the data type, and a description, which is optional, so these rows may or may not be populated. You'll notice that it shows me which field is considered my primary key with a key icon, so order ID is the primary key. And then also down below, we'll have some more information for the field that's highlighted for. So for order ID, I can see its field size. I can see that it has the caption order ID, so that means that that's what it is showing in the datasheet view, whether it's indexed or not, and some other information. So you can scroll through the different field names to get more information. Okay, and let's see. You'll notice in this particular one, this is the field name, ORD date, but notice that the caption is order space date. So if we go back to the datasheet view, what we will see is order space date. So let's look back at the datasheet view, and you see that it is order space date. So that's what the caption means in the design view. Notice that we can scroll through the different field names. If we had multiple field names, that this is one way to navigate while we're in the design view. Also, we can also close the table with the X here. So if I close the table here, we won't see an option because we don't have any tables open. I can reopen that table by double clicking. This brings me back to the datasheet view, but I can go back to the design view.